Hello, everybody, and welcome to Automating Reviews from Upload to Delivery. My name is Joseph Bowman, Solutions Consultant with RoboHead, and this session is going to review some of the settings that are available that can help save your team time and effort by utilizing some of the automation functionality that's available for reviews within RoboHead, whether it's uploading the file through a predecessor task to emailing out the final deliverable to your requester. Robohead has automation tools that will reduce clicks and increase time to spend on other work. This session is going to highlight how you can use review responses to update the review status automatically, how you'll be able to upload the file to be reviewed from the predecessor task being marked as complete. We'll then review some of the RoboScripts that are available that can handle automating the project status being updated based on the review being marked as complete. And then I'll show you a RoboScript that's available that can handle the delivery of the final deliverable that was approved through the review process as well. Before we get started, please feel free to use the chat to ask any questions and engage with us. If you want to submit additional entries for prizes, please review us on G2. See the lobby info desk for more information there. All of our recordings will be available after the session, so please see the agenda for access to these recordings. So let's start off by going through how we can automate the status of our reviews being updated so we don't have to remember to do that on our own. So once we get everybody's feedback from what's being reviewed and they approve the file or click that they're finished reviewing it, we can use that action to automatically update the status of our review. So it's not something that's still lingering in the project and potentially holding things up for moving forward. To do this, all we do is we go into the review settings. So here in this example, I'll click into modify review. And the auto setting for updating the status is going to be found here in the additional options area. You can click anywhere to expand, or there is an icon over here that you can click on that will expand that area as well. And then you're going to find it right at the top where it says auto complete review. Simply change this to match whatever the type of review is. So if we're using the request approval type of review, for example, then I'm going to go with the when all reviewers approve the review, or you also have approve or approve with changes to work with for this automation setting as well. This is also something that's available for those of you that are using multi-stage reviews. So in addition to the status of the review being updated, you can use RoboHead's review automation to begin the next stage in your review process based on actions taken by the reviewers in the previous stage. So for those of you that are using that tool within your reviews, you've got some automation that's available there to you as well. This is something that you can put into your project templates, so it doesn't have to be adjusted every time you use reviews. And this is something that's a safe preference. So if you change it to automatically update the status for you the once, then it will remember it going forward for you, so you don't have to change it every single time. Next, I'd like to demonstrate how you can use RoboHead's predecessor functionality to easily upload a file to be reviewed without having to go into the review itself in order to do it. So this will save your team a couple of clicks, and that'll build up over time and make it easier to get that file uploaded without really having to leave the screen that the person is working from. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to click into the schedule tab within my project, and to illustrate what is required in order for this to work, we need to have the predecessor successor connections between the predecessor task and the review. And I have to be assigned to the predecessor task in order for this to work, because what's going to happen is I'm going to mark this obtain image task as complete. And since this is a predecessor task to the review, we'll get this prompt to easily upload the file into the review. But again, I have to be assigned to that predecessor task and be the review owner in order for this to work. In addition to, of course, there being that predecessor successor connection indicated by the arrow that we see here in the Gantt chart. So when I go to mark the task as complete, whether that's down here or if I'm in a different view, by marking that task as complete, we'll then get this prompt asking us to upload the review file. We can just drag and drop the file to be reviewed from here, or we do have the other options that are available to put in whatever needs to be reviewed at this time. Now, in this example, I've got a file that's been saved to the Files tab within my project, so I'll use that example through here. But I wanted to point out that you also have the option to go into the review settings to adjust anything there if needed. The review settings was the page that we were on just a minute ago. So you do still have the option to go in there and adjust things if need be, or you can just upload the file from right here. So for that, we'll just click the files from this project option, select my file from the drop down, and then click on select. It's going to show us that our upload is complete, and then we can save our changes. It's going to then prompt us to let us know that it's about to notify the reviewers that are assigned to this review, since we now have a file for them to review. And it's then going to also update the start date of the review. Within my project, my review is not supposed to start until tomorrow. So this setting will also automatically update the start date to today, update the status of the review to in progress, saving myself a couple of clicks and a little bit of time. And all of that was accomplished just by having that predecessor successor connection made between those two items. So, very helpful feature for those of you that are using that functionality. I'd like to next show you a couple of RoboScripts that I think you might find helpful that can automate the process of updating the project based on the review status being updated, or the status of a following task, and using that status to update the project. And then we'll conclude by taking a look at how we can use a RoboScript to handle the delivery of that file that's just been approved. To access RoboScripts, we go to the account menu on the left, into Actions, and then down into RoboScripts. A reminder, the account menu is only accessible to account admin level users within RoboHead. So if you're not seeing that, it's because you don't have that level of access within the platform. So here within my RoboScripts, I've got a couple of options here set up. The first one that I wanted to show you is the review being marked complete, and using that to update the status of the project for us. I'm going to click the arrow and then click into modify. And in this example, what I've done is I've made it specific to a certain client, so it's not rolled out system-wide in case I wanted to start small with this. But I built the script based on the status of the review being changed to complete or complete and approved. So you can make this specific to certain types of reviews if you want to. As I mentioned, making it specific to the RoboHead client, and then I'm having it update my project status from ready to review to client approved. So my project manager doesn't have to update the status themselves. This RoboScript is handling that part for them. And then it's also taking a copy of the file that's just been approved and moving it into the Files tab within our project for easy storage. And it's going to then mark it as the final deliverable, so RoboHead knows what to send out to my clients when we've reached that part of the process, which I'm actually going to move into here in just a second. Lastly, I wanted to show you that you can add another action to the script that will update the successor's status from not started to in progress. So that example I showed earlier, the review was a predecessor to a successor task. So this script will then also update the status of that following task for us. So multiple layers of work are being accomplished with just this one script. I'm going to then show you here within my next example how you can then take that final status, or excuse me, that final task status as being marked as complete, and then using that to basically round out the remainder of your project. So in this example, I've made it client specific again, but I've also made it project type specific to just social media type projects. And then I made it looking for a task called update and post. So in this example, once that update and post task has been marked as complete, it's then going to update my project status from client approved to complete. It's going to email that file that was just marked as the final deliverable to whoever requested the project in the first place, as well as any people that participated in the review as well. We can customize the email subject and message that goes out for with the final deliverable. And then we can also have the script archive the project here at the very end for us as well. So just those two scripts in combination with the predecessor successor connections with your tasks and reviews can automate a lot of the workflows for your different projects. And as I mentioned, you can make these scripts be very specific to certain project types or clients, so you can start small and see how it works for everybody before making the push and rolling it out for all of your clients and all of your different project types. I want to thank you all for attending today's session. Up next is Susie Hall and the Automation Revolution, Efficiency in the Creative Process. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.